This conference will now be recorded.
Thanks, Kevin. I don't think you need to stay on.
All right, no problem.
Okay, I can go ahead and share my screen. Steve, I know you've heard this a couple of times with some of the review calls we've been on. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and drop this link in the chat so everybody can access it. So just like before, this is the track sheet that we've put together based on the submissions, and each track we've allotted a time at our Global Summit. So this overall tab will show you a current breakdown of the various tracks and their time, if they're taking place on day 2 or day 3. So for today, we'll be focusing on the DCF and Rack and Power track, which was combined, taking place on day 2, Wednesday, October 18th of our summit. This 1-hour break here is an afternoon snack break that is sponsored. So that 1-hour break is fixed across all tracks and sessions. Everybody will be encouraged to go to the expo hall during that time, similar to last year if you attended. The deadlines tab here is just an overview of some of the immediate next steps and action items. So we have here until next Friday, July 14th. All of the selections for each track will be, all those decisions will be made. And the week of the 17th, we will be sending those notifications to all the speakers and submitters. And then July 14th is when we will go live with our schedule. The schedule tab here, we've just inputted an outline of what we typically use for our flow of the day. So you guys will be starting at 12:30 and ending at 5, again with this fixed break here. So as we populate the schedule and you guys make your selections, we'll go ahead and fill this in accordingly. This is just a list of the contacts we have. Currently, we can add to this if anybody needs to be included. We don't want to exclude anybody, so let us know. And as you can see, we have the DCF group listed here, and then the Rack and Power listed here as this is combined. And then on the abstracts tab, this is just a dump of everything that was in the FN review portal. So I've just exported it. If you want to review everything in just one place, you can certainly do that here. Outlines the event type, the proposed presentation title, their abstract, the list of the speakers, their company, and their email. And then our typical coding of green is accepted and red is rejected if you guys want to color code here. So this is also inclusive of any DCF submissions. So as you go through, and if they don't pertain to you, don't feel like you have to put a selection or a view or comment on every single one. You can just focus on the Rack and Power one specifically. So I went through that kind of fast. Does anybody have any questions on this overall track sheet?
It's Harry here, Kate. Just to
I think we lost you, Harry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had both browsers open because I'm traveling, so I could see on the screen. So if you could leave the link for in the chat session, that would be great, so we can look at the details.
This link?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have put that in the chat, and then I did send out emails yesterday and then last week, just reminding everybody about the deadlines and the review that are due next Friday. So the link to the track sheet's also in that email.
Great.
Any other questions? I know we've kind of been determining how we're going to split this equally between DCF and Rack and Power because it is a combined track. So we may do, since it is 3.5 hours, it's not necessarily like This is a 2-hour, and then this last session time is for an hour and a half. So we may propose doing maybe, Rack and Power DCF gets 5 or 6 sessions, and then Rack and Power gets 5 and 6 or 6 sessions. So it's at least the same amount of sessions across the board to make it somewhat equal. Any questions there?
Kate, perhaps a newbie question. I mean, this is a Google sheet, right? And in order for me to access on a regular basis, I can't bookmark it. How do I get to it?
It's in the email that I sent. Are you receiving?
Okay. Yes, I
Yeah.
am. Okay. Perfect. Got it.
Yep. Those emails I send are very informative, and they do include a lot of information. So I understand it can get lost, but it is.
No,
I just want to make sure
Kate,
you're getting those.
I am getting Kate, and it's just that I've been on a business trip for the last 3 days, so I haven't really had a chance, but I will do that over the weekend. I'll catch up.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure.
If there's no other questions on the track sheet, I can pull up the F&R review portal, and we can look at the submissions there, or if you guys want to do this on your own, I kind of defer to you guys on how you want to proceed accordingly.
I will be okay if you can spend a few minutes looking at it. I'll be okay if everybody else is okay with it.
Yeah, I'm perfectly.
Yeah.
You guys will have to help me out here if it's Rack and Power. I'm not the content guru. Bijan, and I don't know if Rob's on.
I can help. They're pretty easy for me to tell which is which.
Great. So is this one?
That's DCF.
Yeah, the first one's DCF.
I think this one's yeah.
In fact, we
Hey,
can.
Harry, are you familiar with how to use this tool?
We should start with giving Harry. You're on mute, Harry. We should start with giving
Oh,
Harry.
I'm sorry. What I was going to say is I got a video from Colin, so I was going to review it over the weekend. Is there something I should be aware of?
No, I wasn't sure if you were familiar with using the F&R review portal, but this is essentially where all of our reviewers
Right.
see all of the submissions in one place, and there's an overview of who submitted it, the level, which track, the description, the speaker if they have a bio, and then you can make any notes down here. Like it looks like Steve already put not OCP related, and these notes down here are internal only, so only the reviewers see these. The speakers do not see this. If you want to email the speaker, you can click this email button, and you can email them accordingly. And then if this is something that you are very interested in, you would click, yes, give it a thumbs up. If it's just like a maybe or no thanks, that's how you would mark it accordingly.
Perfect.
Hey, by the
Straightforward.
way, on the front, on the first 3749, I still have a remaining half brain cell, and so the neuron's fired. This one, this presenter, I remember him, Kagate Yilmaz. He was at regional, and they presented something in the FTI, I think, track. And so if you guys, I don't know, Rob's on here. No, Rob, yeah, Rob. Maybe Rob and or Mark Dancy can look at this presentation and make sure that this was correct, because I don't know that I mean, he's new to the OCP process. I'm not sure that he understood what the goal was. I mean, I don't know if you guys are interested in getting this better content here.
It looks like, yeah, 3 people put no thanks, but that could be, to your point, Bijan, if it wasn't really, you
I
know,
think, yeah, like I said, I think he's submitted to FTI or FTS last time, and so that's a way more wide open topic. You know, that they have the freedom to talk about a lot of different things. This, you know, on the OCP side, it's, you know, we're more picky, so maybe we should just ask and make sure that he's got the right submission in the right place here.
yeah, and I can make a note to look to see if he submitted in FTS.
Okay. Because I agree with whoever graded this. I don't know if it was Steve or whoever. It's not, you know, not quite OCP centric, but anyway, sorry, I don't want to take up everyone's time with this. It just, I
I think
remember.
the one that, yeah, this is the one that Steve put, not OCP related, this sustainability metrics. But this look is DCF.
Yeah, this one. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, Rob, hear you now.
I was here, Bijan. I heard you the whole time. I was having technology issues. I was locked out
Gotcha.
of GoTo. Anyhow, Rob Bunger's been involved in the DCF track for a long time. They are working on metrics for the OCP Ready program in support of the. Really, I guess it's in alignment with sustainability overall, but it's definitely DCF focused because it's around things like building materials, less on the IT and more on the facility structure. So they are
It's
looking
not
at
part of the
contribution.
contribution though, right? It may be relatively maybe OCP related, but if there's no contribution associated with this or work stream.
There's a work stream on data center facility metrics that's in DCF sustainability currently, and that's being led by Rob. And so at the result of that work stream, the work product of that work stream will be metrics that will be incorporated into the OCP Ready program and part of the checklist.
Okay, so then this is, will I guess eventually show up as a contribution?
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
work product that's going to be related at some point to that.
I think this is DCF. This one's DCF.
I think 3897 is interesting. That's rack and power, but it also describes an AI tool.
Yes, I think that's why I've marked it as interesting, but because I think it would be interesting, but it's not related to any type of contribution, right? It's just interesting information.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what he put in here. We win new 48 volt PDB design concept. Is that not for ORV3 or is that something for DCF? I don't know where it belongs.
It's
Well,
not. It doesn't look like. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm going to agree with you. I think that that it has not necessarily related to any contribution of that, right? It might be sort of OCP related, but it's not
Correct. Correct.
OCP specific, right? They could present this anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
going to more component level, right? GAN is a component, which is a part
Yeah.
of a topology. So yeah.
So
Yeah,
definitely interesting, right? Definitely
Yeah,
interesting. Slots, put it in there, but I would like to actually see this. But
yeah, it caught my eye because we I kind of presented some things that were going to change our future trajectory, and gallium nitride that he's talking about here is one of those technologies. So, but I didn't expect this. Anyway, yeah, 3809. I think that's DCF, right?
3909.
Yeah.
909.
Physical
Sorry,
automation.
my bad.
Yeah. So this is the same kind of thing. I think this would be interesting for DCF, but Rob, is this related to a contribution or anything? Or just?
Yeah, it's a new work stream that they're starting currently.
All right, great. That's
Oh,
awesome.
the name, I recognize it. Okay. Yeah, so 3911 seems related to 3909.
Yeah, it does. So is this also is 3911 something that's related to a work stream work? That's actually the same, maybe the same work as 3909?
Track server racks. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're related. I don't know that they're unique enough to
Yeah, so
warrant
we can,
two separate.
yeah, we can ask them to, I mean, it's the same people, right? So we can ask them to combine those sessions if
It's a
we,
tangential thing, right? Because they're talking about, asset management, inventory management of the racks
Yep.
using computer vision.
Yep.
So yeah, a rack is involved, but it's not directly related to anything. I don't know.
No, it's just like two. It seems like two concepts underneath the one work stream, and I don't know if we need both of them.
Yeah. Anyway, there's an opportunity to combine them maybe.
Yep. So, I mean, I would mark both of them yes, and then make a note to combine those two. So we're gonna run out of slots, so.
Yep. And 3923 is not far away from that. Is that another one from this same work stream, Rob? Very interesting, but unexpected again.
No, so this is more detail on the actual robot that we have that pulls the racks around. So we have a automated machine that'll go up and grab the racks and move them where they need to be inside the data center.
That's
So this is
cool.
much more physical as opposed to some of the other stuff. So again, I don't know if this is, I don't know if we have.
So this is really, it's really a kind of a deployment story, right? It's kind of like what do you call it? A user story, not really a specification related.
Yeah, I don't think.
They've also presented a request to participate in the experience center with the rack,
Ooh,
and combine the
that would be
ORB3
nice.
with the tug.
I'm fully behind that. I would like that because I actually asked you guys way back when if you had any idea if you could present in the experience center, and you guys had to think about it, and I hadn't really closed the loop with you guys, but this might be an interesting angle to do that.
Yeah, they're still working on securing the vendors and making sure that they can get the cart and things like that. So they're working on the logistics, but we've allocated the space. If they want it, they can have it.
The opportunity is to have more than one, to have a joint kind of experience center. So you have rack and power, and it could be integral to this demo, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
3990.
So then the question becomes: is if the opportunities in the experience center, do we also need one in a breakout session? If we're limited on time.
Is 3990 in the right? Does it belong here?
As opposed to
Cooling? Advanced
well,
cooling?
this is not drips.
1.3 million gallons. I get it, but
yeah, this is different kinds of water leaks. So this is at the at the rack level. So I think this is truly at the data center level.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like facility water, right?
Yeah, this is bigger stuff. So
Wow. Must be an
for me,
interesting
this
story.
was interesting, but not there's no contribution associated with it. So
On 3994, just real quick, not to tie up too much time, but is this an evolution of ORV3 or a kind of a fork?
3994.
Yes.
This is the so we've approved the base specification for OpenRack.
Right.
So this is Meta's implementation of
Design spec. Okay.
Yeah, it's a design specification based on not base specs. So
Beautiful. Okay, beautiful.
so this is it should be the final. This is the final version of this. It was just approved by the IC committee. So
Yeah, terrific.
ETF.
Yeah.
Yep. So to me, this is very, let's see, Advanced Energy and Panasonic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one should be approved.
4001. Yeah, I think based on the presenters, you should reject it.
Agreed. Agreed.
4003.
Yeah, so this is the high power version.
Is this in the roadmap? The
Harry?
proposed roadmap?
It is in the roadmap, and this is
Yes.
what, we've been having discussions with Meta and the others, right? They want to take, because of and AI and everything else, the power needs going up. So that's a future AI's Meta and everybody else's roadmap. Yeah.
Yeah, so just a note on this, this is great. Something is coming in my mind on the next version iteration of OpenRack, and that is, like you said, AI related. But we have this kind of another work stream or project is looking at kind of extensible, scalable architecture from data center down to far edge. And so the reason I mention this is because then we will be looking at a very specific footprint for OpenRack deployments, and I don't know, it might influence future design. As far as how far cooling can stick out of the rack, the ingress egress things that you need to consider and all this other stuff. But we could have that discussion later. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up.
No, sure.
And 4023 is another design spec, right?
Yes, the Google design spec based on the base spec.
Hey, Rob, we need to use these as our examples.
Yeah, I agree.
Looks like Stephen Moore liked this one enough to add to the team list, which is the final list. So.
Fast forward.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So this is Rack and Power, and they're not offering to contribute any of this. It's just more their view of
Is
the
this
world.
a deployment story again?
I think this is how you would potentially deploy based on TE's perspective. So this is very TE specific and not necessarily OCP related.
Interesting.
So this one, I'm sorry, yeah. So I think 4043 might need to be in the storage track. Maybe it's too late for that, but
I'm glad you said that. I
uh,
was thinking at best it's very tangential to this track.
so David's son is one of the presenters. So maybe he's going to go through he's going to go through the power delivery and backup solutions, which again are kind of tangential, or at least close. So it could, maybe it could fit in either storage or here, but it's.
Any thoughts, Bijan? If we move it, we should move it now.
I forgot, what's the backlog on storage? You remember?
Let's see. Storage has 28.
This so we
And
won't gain any.
but they have a half day and an hour. So they have like 4.5 hours. Their review call is next
I'll
week.
leave. I mean, I'll leave that decision to Steve and Harry. I mean, they can talk to the presenters here and kind of get a better understanding of where exactly what story they're trying to tell. But do that quickly and let us know if you want to move it.
All right, I can ping David's son and see, or actually both of them, and see what their thoughts are.
Because another way to look at this, I was just thinking is it could just be storage is just a use, it could be anything, right? It just happens to be storage. And the main story here is the power delivery. So
yeah, I think they're trying to show the flexibility of the base B3 system, and they're using storage as a one application and how you would go about
right.
doing it.
So it might belong here, yeah.
I think we should leave it in here for now and see if we can find a spot for it rather than kick it over.
Yeah.
But
Now, 4072, you learn things all the time in this job, and I learned that there's a collaborative effort between Google, Meta, and Microsoft's robotics teams.
yeah, I'm assuming this is part of DCF. So
Rob, any chance we can get a demo here too?
It's from DCF as well.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I haven't plugged into DCF. That's more Rob's area. So I don't know how closely this fits within the target. It's cool as heck, though. I mean, it's a real world problem. So, I mean, I just don't know if any specification or best
Yeah, I don't know if
practice.
there's a contribution associated with it. I mean, I think they want to leverage it and integrate it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you both. I think it's more about the components and how they apply to ORV3. I think it's general, but not a contribution as such.
yeah.
DCF.
Yeah. I think we're at 4080 now,
Yeah,
4080.
yeah, yep.
Oh, 4080?
Yes.
Oh,
It's about utilization of hydrogen in the data center.
Is it just you all, or is there anybody else presenting on this?
Maricel from Wesco and Sean Tugwell from PayPal.
Ah, I think Maricel is part of iMason's sustainability initiative as well.
I remember her from AFCOM.
And Yuval Bashar, I mean, that is Open 19 now, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's interesting. I wouldn't
Yep,
reject
it
it.
is. Yeah, it's interesting, definitely.
I think if it was just a standalone by itself, maybe I'd be more concerned. But considering who's presenting it and kind of the depth of it that they've included in the abstract,
They've got a pretty good solid panel here of people.
yeah, I'm more inclined to accept that it's not just a some piece of software or something looking for a home.
Well, I mean, we're probably within months to less than a year of probably a de facto work stream kicking off on code generation. And this would be maybe part of that story too. Anyway, that's using the CTO
Yeah,
crystal ball. That's pretty far out.
yeah.
Your time scale is different than the rest of ours.
Yes. Sorry. So 4091, a TI point of view. Oh,
Integrated. Again, this is a component for efficiency improvement from their perspective, how it applies to power supplies.
yeah, probably the same ilk as the
Yeah.
gallium nitride one from
Yep.
above.
Exactly. Very similar. Very
Yeah,
similar.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely rack and power. 4095. I know. I'm wondering if it got put here because he's from Rittal. Rob, what do you think? Do you think this should be in the cooling bucket?
Yeah, I mean, it shows data center best practice methods for data center erection, following that phrase, and modular data center solutions
I
and
guess
future
it,
cooling. I mean, cooling is really the technology. I guess it's in DCF because of the format.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be talking about their experience with the data center as well as the modular solutions that Rittal has. So this is very Rittal specific.
yeah, I mean, you guys know the way to do this, but I would encourage to, find at least one or two actual deployment talks in your track. At least one. I don't know if this is the one, but something like this. And that kind of rounds out interest level from the audience?
I'm not sure this is OCP related though, right? This
Yeah,
is.
I'm not saying it's this one.
Yeah. Call.
This is definitely DCF.
Okay.
Yeah, I have concerns about it not being OCP related directly.
$41.15. This is definitely rack and power.
Oh yeah, Shuijiang. Yep.
So Harry, is this related to a contribution or is this just based on?
No, it's just general. Talks about rack and power. You're talking about how GPUs and CPUs and accelerators are driving the 48 volt, transition.
Mhm. Okay, that's the way I interpret it as well. So
Yeah.
definitely interesting.
Yeah.
But probably not first choice.
Probably gets pushed out if you guys are pressed for time.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting use case, deployment case, 4123.
Yes, I mean this is definitely DCF. So I'll let Rob speak to this. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
John's always a good speaker.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So it's OCP related, even though there's not a contribution associated with it. But this is a better use deployment case than the Rital one for sure.
Hey, Rob, this is very close to a circular use case, circular economy use case.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Carl's co-lead on MDC under DCF. I think that's why it ended up here, but
Yeah.
sustainability might be more appropriate.
All right, 4135 curls.
Oh, 4135.
Yeah.
We're moving this to sustainability.
No.
Not 35, the other one.
Oh, this one, 4136.
4123, I think, right?
Looks like I presented this one.
Did leave this one, John Summers. And then this one was Carl Rabe as well.
4135 belongs here.
Yeah.
It was 4140. This one's Rob.
Yeah, I got added to this, but they haven't made much progress on the space spec. I mean, they're talking about it. I think you probably cover it in the group update. I'd rather see them have 5 more minutes of time than an extra 20-minute slot session to cover this.
So we want to combine 4135 with
36. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's an easy time compress. And maybe extend the 20-minute session to 25 minutes, but I don't even know if that's a requirement.
That's one of the biggest complaints about what he's done with Twitter over the last few months is that he's kind of trashed it as a service on that people use it for like emergency response, things like that.
This is the one that's more circular economy, right, Bijan?
Yes.
You don't know in case it's a legitimate emergency.
So should this one be sent to sustainability?
That's important, right?
Yeah.
David,
Especially in Colorado, I mean, all the weather you have in California, you got fires, earthquakes.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
I don't know. Harry and Steve, I don't know how you guys feel.
or 4140.
Yeah.
This is the wooden rack, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but he says he's taking the ORV3 and redesigning it.
Yeah, but you know what? I have mixed feelings. I think it probably doesn't belong here because we are talking about the future. Unless Steve, you see adaptability of this in standards or this going further. That's just how I look at it. But
So this is, if you will, this is kind of a implementation of fork for the base spec. So he's just building it out of wood. This is similar. He showed us the regional conference, right?
right, I saw. Yeah, exactly. We saw that there. Yeah,
So I'm not sure
and
what the update for this is, right?
yeah.
Uh,
Can we ask for more information? I mean, as to how is this different and what is he presenting this time versus last time?
Good call.
Yeah, I can do
sure.
that. I
Yeah, I
can
think
do
that's a good next step for that one.
that. Okay,
Uh,
I can do
I
that.
think it's interesting, definitely interesting. I
Yeah.
just
Yep.
see what's new.
Okay, so Harry's gonna reach out on that
Yep.
one.
I will. I will. I will.
And then this last one's also from Carl.
This is interesting. I think
This NUROC Thermocon presentation is actually in the IC meeting later today.
yeah.
They have a 350 kW modular data center spec they're presenting on.
Cool. I think that's it. So now that you guys have a better idea of what you guys have here, like I said, by next Friday,
Hmm.
you guys could have your selection and have this sheet marked accordingly so that it's very clear which ones are being accepted. And if you want to identify, you know, in column E which track it is, if it's DCF or Rack and Power, that would help as well. You guys have any questions? The schedule doesn't have to necessarily be populated by next Friday, but obviously as you guys are making your selections, you want to be aware of how many you can actually fit in the allotted time we have, and we have that minimum duration of 20 minutes, which is inclusive of transition time. So keep that in mind as you're planning your schedule. Any
So,
questions? I see we have 10 minutes here.
do we want to set up some time for next week to amongst the people here to work on setting the schedule?
Sure. Next week is tough for myself. I'm out of the country doing a site visit for a regional summit. And I think Rob is out of the office. But Bijan will be our guy holding down the fort. Well, I mean, I'll try my best to make it if the time allows, depending on what time with the time change and everything. But yeah, does a certain date and or time work for you guys next week?
What time zone are you going to be in, Kate?
I'll be in Europe, so I'll be 6 hours ahead of Eastern. So I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so morning we bet be better.
6 hours ahead
Yep.
of Eastern is like Central European time, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, so I think yeah, you're right. AM in Pacific PST anyways, like 7 or 8 a.m. our time.
Yeah, I'm available currently, I think Tuesday and Wednesday and even maybe Thursday. So whatever works. I would suggest maybe Wednesday or Thursday to give you guys a little bit more time. to make your selections and go through thoroughly.
So Wednesday we have the Rack and Power monthly call. I don't know if we have anything on the agenda for this.
So
this
Steve,
week.
I didn't copy you on it, but I sent a request to Colin and Steve that I've been working with NVIDIA, and they want to present their roadmap for GPUs and how that affects the future power. So we wanted to include that, but I haven't had a response yet from either one of them. So I don't know the next steps.
Okay. So we can either meet before that.
Yeah.
That block, which is, it starts at 9 a.m. California time. So if we want to get together at 8 o'clock or do it on Thursday, either one of those is good for me.
I can make morning work too.
What time?
Either 8 a.m. Wednesday, California time, or
Sure.
Thursday between 8 and 11 for me.
And you're saying Wednesday the 12th?
Yes.
I have a little bit of a conflict, but I can make it work on Wednesday at that time.
What about Thursday? Is Thursday better for everybody? I'm good either way.
Thursday, what time? Sorry, same time or?
I was browsing time between 8 and 11. But
So if you go 8:30, I'm clear on Thursday.
okay, that works for me. That Harry, Rob, Kate.
Yeah, 8 or 8:30 is good. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
set
be
it
out
up
office. Doesn't matter to me.
I'll set it up for 8:30
Pacific
Pacific
time.
time. And I'll do my best to be there. But I'll include
It'll be
everybody.
evening for you.
Yeah, and we're flying around so much, so I need to block my calendar with my flights. But we'll make it work. I'll invite everybody on this call, and then everybody who was also on the
That's
invite.
fine. I mean, we can.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Kate.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye
Thanks,
now.
everyone.